Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, the 6th of March. We're Signal Centre Talking Ball. Joe Neighbour, Ian Coleman, Steve O'Hare. Happy non-farm Friday, guys.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah,
Always
love
fun
it.
today.
This is the losing day today.
You reckon?
Guaranteed.
Okay.
I guarantee it. Everyone's going to lose money today.
Well, on that cheery note, let's have a look at how we did yesterday, shall we?
Yeah.
A couple of winners.
Unless you follow our trade ideas, I was going to say.
Okay. Caveat. Okay, so we had an uptick yesterday. We had trades on FTSE, which made 1.22R. Pretty boring, really, compared to some of the other indices. Steve made 2.35R on DAX to take the win on the day. And unfortunately, Ian was stopped on his cable trade for -1R. But overall, what did we get there? 2.57R on the day, so not bad going. All fun and games again this morning by the looks of things.
Yeah, the sort of like the
well, you've
you sell off
nicked.
overnight.
Just Joe's pipped me again.
Oh
yeah, I didn't want to highlight that.
Oh, 1R.
1R, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed because I was going to have a tighter stop yesterday, and it wouldn't have stopped me out, and it would have been about 6R, wouldn't it?
It would have been, but that's yeah.
But
You're doing some optimization on your ideas, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm being a bit more conservative because I'm fed up with messing about. I'm just playing with you, so now I'm going to just take it now. Okay. I think it'll take me about. I've worked out it'll take me about a month to catch you up and leave you behind.
Okay, I'll bring it on.
And that's if you get lucky in that month, that is as well.
Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go first because I've got an idea, and I'm looking this morning at Bitcoin.
Oh, you
madman, or smart man? Who knows? Anyway, Bitcoin. I think obviously there's a lot of chat, or has been over the last couple of years, about Bitcoin potentially replacing gold as a safe haven. I'm not sure it's at that sort of stage yet, but amid what's going on at the minute with coronavirus and a slowing economy, if Bitcoin's going to wake up and show us what it's worth in terms of a safe haven, then I think now's its chance to prove it. So looking at this daily chart here, I've got the early makings of a head and shoulders bottom pattern. Hasn't completed yet, so we can't officially call it a head and shoulders. So I am preempting it by trying to buy it around these sort of levels. But I think we could target towards these previous swing high up at around about 14,000. So from current levels, we're talking about sort of 9.5R with a tight stop. More conservatively, we probably below the right shoulder. Then we're talking about 5R, but the move of the head and shoulders projects a target of 14,615. Then we've got the extensions up towards 17,000, and then obviously the previous all-time highs up at around 20,000. So we've got that on the daily chart. We've also got smaller versions of head and shoulders patterns formed on the intraday charts. This is the hourly. So we've seen a nice clean break of the head and shoulders bottom here. And we saw that on the 5th. So yesterday at 9 o'clock, a bit of a consolidation and a bit of a pullback.
That's exactly what you want to see.
Now I'm looking to jump on that now and target some resistance that I've got there at 9474. So just going to put my target just ahead below that at 9470. The measured move is at 9547, but I'm just going to try and get out there ahead of that resistance that I've got on the chart. And on the 4-hour chart, looks pretty decent as well. So
yeah, nice. A little bit of a bullish flag, lovely.
Yeah, so going to have a go at that today. I'm buying Bitcoin at 9117 with I've got 9123 actually here with a spread. So, yeah, going long Bitcoin. Good luck if you're following. Stop at 8991. So going quite tight on that.
Can you get a volume indicator on that hourly chart?
Yes.
It's always good to, when you're talking about inverse head and shoulders, obviously one of the really key things to look at is the volume. If you see the volume sort of like dropping off on that last move to the right shoulder, that's always a good time to sort of like preempt. Oh, actually, this is the formed one. Maybe the daily one's worth looking at, Joe, where you sort of like you're trying to preempt the right shoulder.
Okay.
If you see volume dropping off, yeah, like you have done. If you look at the volume, they're dropping off into the right shoulder.
Yeah.
That's lower volume. So there's less selling interest. So that's always a good thing, and to sort of like try and preempt the right shoulder. A decent, it looks like a morning doji star reversal on the candles on that right shoulder as well.
So we like that, do we?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
I use tend to use a 10 exponential moving average as a bit of a trigger for a buy. So we saw a nice close above that, and that for me on yesterday's close is a cue to get long. So
yeah, moving averages are the classic.
All time frames. I like that.
Oh, do you? Well, I like to. Was going to talk about this at some other point. I'm not, because we haven't got time today. But moving averages, I'm looking at different time frames. Different moving averages obviously suit different time frames. And the main thing I think to look at is like on an hourly chart. Think about the chart that most intraday traders use, maybe a 5-minute or a 10-minute chart. So on an hour, you'll have 12 5-minute time frames, or 12 price points. So then maybe you should be using a what am I trying to say? Yeah, basically a 12-bar moving average on a 5-minute chart. Whereas on a maybe a daily chart, you have 5 trading days, maybe 6 now in the week. So maybe a 5-bar moving average, or then think about the month as well. There's 20 days in a month, 20 trading days. So you'll have a 20-bar moving average, obviously a good one to watch.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then on a yearly chart, again, you go back to 12 months. So it sort of like just brings in the higher time frame.
All right, sounds like you just lined yourself up for a webinar there on that, Steve. So I'll book you in for that one.
Lovely. E, do you want to go now? Or?
No.
Excellent.
Only because I can't get the machine to work.
Computer says no.
Computer says no.
Right. I'm very tempted. Yeah, I'm going to go for it now because it's come back while I've been waffling. I've been trying to stall it.
Yeah, you did stall me, and I got a worse entry on that because of you.
Yeah. It's so the DAX, obviously, this head and shoulders formation that we're talking about did play out. It was the ridiculous looking one, played out really nicely. But see where we could come overnight. We've back to the swing low on the 2nd of March, to the lowest levels we've been in ages. But look at the monthly chart. We're sort of breaking below these levels back from March 18 as well. So there is
volume as well.
Yeah. See the volume picking up. This is like proper selling. Obviously, we're coming up to non-farm payroll today, so I think it's a little bit of a non-farm will sort of like cause that maybe a little bit of a rally back where the shorts are building up in here. And if you look in a lot of the retail platforms, there's not as many longs as there normally is. So I think we'll have a little bit of short buying back pre-non-farm. So I'm going to go for that. And the level I do like, bring it down to the smaller time frame charts, is, let's get the daily up, is obviously the low from the other day, from 4 or 5 days ago. Also going back, that there's a nice swing low coming in at the same level here, just above 11,600. Plenty of congestion around here. This was a fantastic inverse head and shoulders. This played out really nicely. So I'm going to go for, let me buy it here. Is it low enough yet? What's it trading now? 11,640. I'm going to have quite a tight stop because it's basically either going to hold or it's not. Stop at 11,550. No, sorry, because I'm trying to get out before non-farm payroll, so I've got to get a bit closer. 11,585. I've got a small long, and that's where my stop is at this point in time. So the target, I'm looking for a swing back to, realistically, before non-farm, 11,800. Why would I pick 11,800? Let me have a look at the hourly chart. Does that make any sense at all? Get rid of all these lines. Let's get some fib on there. No, doesn't make any. There's not really. Oh no, hold on. What am I talking about? 11,800. I said, didn't I? Yeah, 11,866 is a 38.2. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 11,800.
Okay.
Stop at 11,585, and I'm long at 11,640.
Well, where have you picked those 14 pips from?
Well, because I've just said I'm getting long here.
Okay.
It's there. Look, 11. I'll tell you what, it's 39. It's not 40.
All right.
Right, now I've got to stick it in the fucking system. I'm sure I'm going to get as good a fill as Ian gave me the other day.
Okay.
Never
Got
going to
it, Ian,
leave
what
that
you
down.
got?
No, I don't
Let
think you're ever going to leave it
Steve
down.
concentrate.
Right. I was going to look at Euro Sterling again, but I'm a bit bored with that. Getting a bit bored getting stopped out in it, to be honest. So I'm going to go a bit out the off-piste, if you like, today. These crossover charts keep on going on about. Joe's crossover charts, give him credit for that.
Baskets.
So here we've got yen, the yen baskets, and it's just hit this 78.6% fib, and it's struggling a bit. If we go to this time frame, which is a 4-hour time frame, you've got 261.8% here. You can see that we're just starting to move lower. So using the baskets, that would suggest that we're going to see a bit of yen weakness. Now, if we go to the dollar, it's just at 61.8% pullback level. And if we go to this short time frame, it's a lot of these baskets seem to run to 61.8%, which is down here, but we're just overstretching this. So I'm sort of wondering, and it is a coin flip, obviously going into non-farm payroll, whether or not dollar yen is going to take a move to the upside using the correlation from these two crossover charts. The long-term picture is bearish. We've got bearish outside month, which is an acute monthly reversal candle last month. But if you look to shorter time frames, i.e. the daily chart, we're just pushing past this 261.8% fib and could be seen as a fifth wave extension. So enough waffling. I think it offers extremely good risk reward, about 7.5 R to get long around here. We haven't got resistance till 108.40. So getting long around here with a stop at 107.40.
I love the fact that I've actually worn Ian down.
108.40.
When he first started,
35.
70 days ago or whatever.
80
days ago, he was doing sort of like pretty decent risk reward trades. And I've sort of tricked him into doing the big 5 to 7 to 10 to 1 trades, whereas I'm sort of going the other way. So it's funny how it's maybe that's a good lesson to learn from it all.
So that's what I mean.
We'll see.
Long dollar yen counter trend trade, and it's all a bit of a coin flip going into non-farm payroll.
Indeed. Just going back to those baskets, we briefly touched upon it before we went live this morning, but looking at this New Zealand dollar one, I mean, the trend's obviously awful longer term. It's heading lower and lower and lower, but looking at the basket on the daily, it is stalling around this previous low that we saw back in October last year. And as you can see, there's been quite a considerable pickup in the volume around here. So the level is being defended. We are seeing a big move higher in a lot of the Kiwi pairs as well this morning. So a bit strange, because I would have thought in a turbulent time, people don't really want to be buying New Zealand dollar, as it's seen as a riskier asset to own. But it is bouncing, and there's reasonable justification for it with these on the chart.
Like that. Especially the last few bars where the selling interest is starting to dissipate now.
Yeah.
So if the sellers give up, then there's a nice bounce coming.
Yeah, get across above that moving average, then maybe that will be a trigger to have a stab at the long side on those. And as Ian said, with the yen looking a bit overstretched, maybe New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen could be.
Can you do a basket with Bitcoin, take all the currencies out?
Yes, I'll work on that.
Because I think that's a key one to look at as well, because obviously the Bitcoin price is massively.
Is that not Bitcoin futures, or Bitcoin futures, I guess, is still against the dollar, is it?
Yeah, it must be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take the dollar out, because like you're saying, you're talking about Bitcoin being the next safe haven. I don't think gold will ever be replaced, because it's a real physical asset that you can actually hold in your hands. Bitcoin is the furthest away. It's like obviously money is closer than Bitcoin to actually owning something and thinking you've got some value.
Yeah.
Bitcoin just floats about in the air, doesn't it? And
got some.
So I think that's the closest thing. Like obviously the dollar's the next safe haven asset. So that is the one that would be replaced. The Bitcoin would replace naturally the dollar as a safe haven. So that's where I think, I think don't knock gold too much, mate, because I'm
I'm not knocking it at all.
I don't know. It felt like it. It did feel like it.
Aren't I?
Can I take profit on my DAX yet?
No.
Half an hour.
Oh. Okay, a lot of waffling there. So news-wise, obviously non-farm payrolls today. We had some big jumps in cases of coronavirus in various places yesterday. Holland, Germany, UK, to name a few. Italy continues to be bad. There was close to 800 yesterday. And the death toll is nearly 150 there. So a lot of concerns about the Italian economy. No evidence of a shift in thinking from the ECB yet. They're obviously talking about interest rate cuts, and I imagine that will be done next week, but they're not hitting the panic button and doing anything on an emergency basis like the US did earlier this week. The US jobless claims did decline slightly to 216,000 from 219,000 a week previous. Not sure how that will impact what happens today on the non-farm payroll data. Anybody seen anything else of any interest? Oil prices slipped to 13-month lows yesterday, despite rumours that OPEC would be putting some cuts in place.
Yeah, I think Russia are kicking back on it. Russia's saying that they're happy with the oil prices as they are. So they need obviously Russia to get involved if they want to do a concerted action. So that sort of took a knock. Also, I did see, is it right, March meeting, Fed meeting, there's another half basis point already nailed on.
Nailed in.
I did see that yesterday. CNBC.
So let's see what happens. Obviously, I think like the US are going to get sort of like a lot more cases. Maybe they're going to start testing people soon, just to give it an idea.
Well, apparently they haven't been doing very much testing, have they?
No, exactly. Yeah, I think they wait until after maybe the presidential races run. So the numbers are going to be.
Is there problems with testing kits or something?
Yeah, they messed up some of the testing kits, but you don't know what to believe with all the fake news flying around. So who knows? No, there was what else was the
HSBC got evacuated, didn't it? Or the big building in Canary Wharf yesterday?
Did it?
So I read that somewhere.
So let's get everybody out and put them in close proximity to each other.
Oh,
someone sneezed.
I think somebody there's got the corona.
Oh.
So
do you use this? You still using this website?
Or the one that says Sheffield's got 8 million or something.
Yeah. So this is updated fairly regularly. This is 116 now in the UK.
One death yesterday.
But US is 233. But apparently they've hardly tested anyone. I think we tested about 18,000 people and they've tested about 500 or something. But half of them have tested positive for it.
That's a bit worrying.
Yeah.
They haven't seriously only tested 500.
I don't know. It's not a big number, though, I don't think.
Fake news, man.
There could be.
Canada. That's the way. Well, that's the place to go, isn't it?
Go and live in Alaska or something like that, or in the Yukon Peninsula.
Great Bear Lake looks good to me.
Yeah,
fuck all
cold
up there
as well.
What's the broadband like? Any good?
I don't know. Where else can we go to escape it?
Well, you don't want to go to Africa, I don't think.
Falkland Islands.
Healthcare's a bit dodgy. Barbados. How about
Peru?
Barbados?
How about a bit of Peru?
You don't want the warm climates, mate. Apparently, is it?
I thought you did want the warm climates.
No, breeding ground. That's if you look at zoom out from the map.
Yeah.
Is it a bit close to the equator? All these big cases.
No, these are all northern hemisphere, aren't they?
Yeah, but
southern hemisphere looks fine. Let's get down to
Spain, Italy. They're all warm.
Madagascar. There you go.
Clean. Island. No, what about there's just a little island off Madagascar? That'd be even better.
These?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
St. Denis or Port Louis.
Oh, Mauritius.
Yeah, Mauritius.
Plenty of booze on Mauritius.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they haven't got the testing kits. The boat's still on the way out there.
We don't need it.
That's going to be as red as you like.
Okay, that's enough fun for today. Let's hope everybody does all right on non-farm if you're trading it.
Yeah, don't trade it.
And remember to wash your hands, guys. Keep clean.
Yeah,
keep clean.
One.
See you Monday.
See ya.
Have a good one. Bye.